Flat earthers are stupid.
Yes, flat earthers are really stupid, and this flat earther will help me prove that today. This is Aloha from Florida. I made some videos about him recently, and this time he's looking at old buildings that he claims are built by flat earthers. Let's start. Prepare yourself for a real dumpster fire.
Good morning. Aloha from Florida.
I'm sorry, it's this fool again.
So let's talk about flat earth. Or like I call it, our electrical topographical stationary plane. Oh, I forgot a word, enclosed. Our enclosed electrical topographical stationary plane, which is commonly called flat earth. You could even add the words intelligently designed. Our intelligently designed enclosed electrical topographical stationary plane, which is commonly called flat earth.
It would be much easier if this fool presented as "Welcome to my fantasy world."
Now, there are buildings literally everywhere, from Asia to Africa to Australia to North America, Central America, South America, literally everywhere.
Yes, there are buildings all around the world.
That we do not build anything like them today. They have perfect symmetry, sacred geometry, and cymatic patterns built right into the huge stone structures on the outside and the inside.
Yes, there are very big buildings built of stone. And
got a reflection going on here. Move my drink. The buildings that were built by somebody with more knowledge than we have today.
And you base that statement on what?
On the architecture, on how to build it, for one, and how huge it was, for two. The doors are huge, the domes are huge, the columns are huge. It's also weird that a lot of those buildings were discovered or found a layer or two or three beneath the ground, and a lot of them were dug out about 120 years ago.
And he do not specify which buildings he are talking about.
What happened? Speculation. I don't know. Theory. There's obviously some kind of event that happened in the late 1800s or mid 1800s probably. In the late 1800s, a lot of buildings got used briefly and then torn down. A lot of buildings were torn down in the Civil War, the alleged Civil War.
What buildings are you talking about, and the alleged Civil War? First of all, there were a war, and it was a local war in what we today know as USA. A war that didn't have any effect on us in Europe, them in Africa, Australia, Asia, and so on. It was a local US thing.
The World War I, World War II, other wars around. What happened to all these amazing buildings in Germany during the World Wars?
It was a war. Many of them was bombed. Some of them is still there, and some have been repaired.
Have you seen pictures of Germany before the World Wars? There was obviously a civilization here before us that knew things about the sun, moon, and stars, because most of these buildings, a lot of them anyway, especially cathedrals, are built in perfect alignment to the heavenly luminaries, especially the sun during the solstices and equinoxes. But these buildings that are literally everywhere were built by flat earthers.
All those cathedrals and so on was built AD, and we knew before Christ that we lived on a globe. So what evidence do you have for flat earthers was those who made all these fantastic buildings?
Flat earthers are stupid.
Yes, flat earthers are stupid.
Oh yeah, they're stupid, but they built unbelievable, even impossible buildings that nobody can replicate today.
And which buildings is it that we can't replicate today? There were no flat earthers that built cathedrals and so on. If we look at this one, Notre Dame in Paris, it was heavily damaged by a fire some years ago, and now they are rebuilding it. But according to this fool, that's not possible.
No one. Don't point to me, or don't point the big Freedom Tower to me, or the big tower in Dubai. Don't point that to me and compare that to what I'm talking about. That is literally everywhere.
And so far you haven't given any examples of what buildings you're talking about. Cathedrals, okay, but what cathedrals and what big buildings all over the world?
We build great little stone and, steel and glass buildings really high into the sky. But why don't you go look at what I'm telling you? These domed buildings, these Capitol buildings. Here's 3 things to research if you want to take a little further trip down the rabbit hole and see that we've been lied to about history just as much as we've been lied to about geography. Look at the Capitol buildings.
A 220-year-old building, okay?
Look at the cathedrals.
Pantheon in Rome, I highly recommend.
And look at the World's Fairs.
I have been some of them, but I believe that you're talking about, for instance, the one in Chicago. But what about these buildings? I've seen many of them.
Those 3 things. You want to add one more. The triumphant arches that are everywhere, and the sculptures that are on them, all over them. Go look at Chicago at the 1893 World's Fair, or St. Louis in the 1902 1903 World's Fair. Go look at those buildings and see that there were hundreds of buildings made over hundreds of acres. In less than 2 years, they used them allegedly for 6 months and then knocked them all down, blew them all up.
And what is your point?
Our history is a lie, just like the geography that the government indoctrination camps teach is a lie. One of the best channels, in my opinion, that I like the most is John Levi on this subject.
Don't trust the government, don't trust scientists, don't trust historians, don't trust people that have knowledge and are looking into things. Trust John Levi instead, a conspiracy nutcase on YouTube.
So go to the John Levi channel and check that out. Check out Autodidactic. Check out My Lunch Break, or check out Jared Boosters. Those 4 channels will give you a huge collection of photographs from all across the surface of our flat and stationary Earth of these amazing structures with, as I said, sacred geometry, cymatic patterns, and perfect symmetry, all built right into the structures built by flat earthers.
And where are the evidence for that claim that it was flat earthers that built those buildings?
You know, the stupid people.
Yes, flat earthers like you are really, really stupid.
I've said before in one of my other videos, flat earthers are some of the most independent, free-thinking people that are able to question things. They're some of the smartest people I know.
People like you that look at other conspiracy nutcases YouTube videos and believe that you are doing science, doing your own research and claiming things without any evidence at all. No, flat earthers are not smart. You don't get smart if you get education. You have to understand it too.
How many of the content creators have master's degrees teaching flat earth and promoting flat earth? There's an engineer in Brazil teaching, I think he has a following of like 200,000 people down there. Did you know Brazil, over 40% of that country knows the earth is flat?
Any evidence for that statement? Of course not.
Millions and millions of people just in Brazil. What about when you add the United States and Canada and the UK and China and Japan? There are literally millions and millions and millions of flat earthers.
Most people in this world are not flat earthers. You are a small group. This Sunday it was the Nobel Day here in Sweden, and our king did hand out the Nobel Prize for great scientists from all over the world. Have any flat earthers ever received the Nobel Prize? And it's Nobel, not Nobel. The man who invented or started the prize, his name was Alfred Nobel, not Nobel.
And guess what? Over the next few years, there will be millions and millions more. The truth wins. The cat is out of the bag. People are finding out, learning the earth is flat and stationary, and that is causing them to question other things, which is a good thing. Have a good day. God bless.
Oh dear, that was really, really stupid. This was a typical flat earth video, a lot of claims without any evidence at all, and the research he did was on different conspiracy channels on YouTube. Can it get more stupid? Of course it can. It's no limit for the stupidity that comes from flat earthers. Thank you everybody. Looking at my channel in that way, you're helping me helping Ukraine. I'm buying drones for all revenues from this channel, and if you donate on PayPal, I will buy kamikaze drones. That was all I had for you today. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please subscribe, become a member, or come back next time I'm showing a video. Have a nice day. See you soon. Bye.